I'm originally from England, a little town called Grimsby. I lost my mom when I was 13. I think that left a bit of a hole, and I started looking for things to fill that love that I desperately wanted. At 16, I started modeling. I moved away from home and all of my friends and lived 30 minutes outside of London with an aunt and uncle. Very quickly began traveling all over the world, Paris and Milan and Japan, Australia, New York, but none of that was actually enough. I remember one particular night, I still would say that I was a Christian all those years, but it was like, you know, I'll get around to that one day when I've had enough fun. But I remember one night in particular, I was modeling in New York. I was doing the Fashion Week, and I was working for Calvin Klein, and just sort of looking around and taking stock at that moment, like, this is probably a dream come true. And I actually am desperately sad right now because I got to the top of this ladder and there's nothing there. I remember calling my dad and saying, this is miserable. And my dad said to me, you've got to have a relationship with God to be satisfied. It's His love that you need. And right then and there, I realized that that was absolutely true. And I went home that night and just poured my heart out to God and said, I want to be yours. Alan and I met at church. He was helping run the youth group. I just remember thinking, man, that guy, I can tell that he really loves God, and my goodness, he's cute. I have 3 boys. Miles, who's 9, and is an amazing Lego builder. He can build anything out of anything. Callum is 6 and loves to encourage. And Jack is almost 2 and is just a rascal right now. And super cute. Time with Jesus, I definitely have days and seasons where I get to read the Bible more than others, depending on sleep and who's waking up in the middle of the night and not. Now it's more like 2 minutes here and 2 minutes there. And someone said recently, your greatest blessing may be your biggest challenge. And that's definitely the way parenting has been for me. And I think I'm realizing that the most important thing is going for my kids' hearts. And sometimes that's messier than I would like it to be, because we can't change that overnight. Yes, I want them to obey me. Yes, I want them to do as I say. But ultimately, if I just get them to do that, but I don't get to their heart, then it's no good and it will backfire. But actually, it takes a lot more work to get to their hearts, and it takes dealing with my own heart. Obviously, there's disobedience happening all the time. There's tantrums, there's fighting among brothers, and there's whining and all those beautiful things that drive me crazy. And seriously, I just have those moments where I go, this is what I sound like to God. This is my heart. Like, it just doesn't look as disgusting because I cover it up and make it look better. But actually, it just continually reminds me, like, I am such a sinner and I am so loved, and God has so much grace for me and so much love. And I have days where I just feel like I'm doing this all wrong, I'm getting this all wrong. And I'm on my knees saying, God, you gotta help me. He does. He answers, and He picks me back up and dusts me off and reminds me that His promises never fail.